By the time you're watching this video, I have already lost my early 20s. And if I were to look back and tell anyone who is feeling a little lost in life, worried and anxious, here are the 10 things that I learned which can help make your journey smoother. The first point I want to touch on is the realization of building your confidence first before anything else. Whether it's what a lot of people these days they're trying to do is that they want to build their wealth first. I've seen 13-year-olds saying that, oh, I want to make $1 million this year. I realized that confidence and self-affirmation is so important as it helps build up we ourselves first before trying to do anything else, like being in a relationship, buying a car, buying a home. Personally, I think that those things should be delayed until you've built yourself to be a version of yourself that you are okay with. I wouldn't say perfect, because we cannot be the perfect version of ourselves. It's always a work in progress. It's until you build yourself to a level where you are comfortable, you like yourself, then you can do something external. And the second thing is something that I've been doing quite a lot this year, that I've been building structure, using systems, using tools, whether it's for my personal life or for business. Every day, I will use this system where I put down all of the things that I need to do for the next day or even for the days throughout the week, so that the next morning when I wake up, I don't have to think what to do. Because one thing about our brains is once we wake up, our brain is in this fresh mode where it's running in alpha wave, where creativity is at its peak. So you don't want to waste that precious time, that precious energy to think about what you should do, or what people might end up is to just scroll through their phones. Not only for my personal life but also for business, I do use this kind of similar systems just so I can track things and make things better, neater. And not only for my personal life but also for business, I use this kind of similar systems to track everything that I do, all the numbers, statistics, and just to make things proper. The third thing is to study books, not read books. When I was younger, I loved reading books, and I would be so proud that I finished a book within a month. Or some people, they say, oh, I finished a book within a day. Last time I used to think, oh my god, I'm so behind. They finished an entire book in one day, but I used a month, a year. But it's only until recently I realized you shouldn't really be proud of that, because it's not about how many books you read in a year, but how much you learn from each book. Sometimes when I read a book, I will just read 2 or 3 pages, and that itself, I feel that it's so much information, I cannot process it anymore, and I'll just close the book. Because what matters is what we learn from the book and not how much we read. The fourth thing is to listen to our heart. Actually, doing videos is something that I've been always wanting to do when I was 17, which then I started only when I was 20, and it was like on and off thing. Because come on, like making videos, can you really make a living out of it? Is it sustainable? I've tried doing many different things, and when I do things that I don't like, I'm not good at, adding on to the pressure that people say, you suck at this, it really hurts your emotion. And sometimes it's not external, but sometimes it's you thinking to yourself, it's such a simple thing, why couldn't I make it happen? It doesn't matter if it's external voices or internal voices. If you are not good at what you do, or if you don't like the thing that you do, I wouldn't recommend you to push yourself to that, because I felt it before. So I don't wish anybody to go through that. This then brings me to my next point, which is you will fail more than you succeed. I have started at least 5 businesses. So for the 4 businesses I started and ended, it's okay. Right now, I'm just focusing on this one single thing, this one single business, and I just want to make this happen because of the impact that I can bring to my clients. And for, shooting this kind of videos, I can help people to make their path, their journey smoother. So it's okay to fail. And number 6 is to prioritize our health. I learned this, that when your health is not at its peak, it will for sure affect your day-to-day, your work, your family, your relationship. Everything will be affected. So I'm happy to say this year my health is slightly better than it was before, and we should all continue working on it. Because let's be real, no one on earth can help you with that unless you are super rich like Brian Johnson, who has millions of dollars to spend on specialists, nutritionists, all of these experts to build a lifestyle, to give him all the supplements and all the specialized things just to make him live longer and healthier. I am for sure building my health and pulling it up to a level that is much higher higher than it is right now, because I realized that affects my performance and my productivity overall. The 7th point is something I did a lot this year, which is to be brave enough to close a door and to open another door by yourself. With all of these decisions that I made, one of it was starting a business and then exiting from it. It was very tough until a lot of people around me who cares for me, they say, I don't want to see you like that. I was literally in a rut. So I thank all the people around me, my mentors, for just making me wake up. Literally, one of my mentors said to me, wake up. But I'm glad to say I am in a much better state mentally and emotionally right now as compared to, in the beginning of the year. So that's a good thing. Number 8 is to be nice to everyone. When I was around like 15, 16, I started a blog. I wrote a blog, and this was related to being nice to everyone. Because I believe no matter whether you're talking to a kid, talking to bosses, or even toilet cleaners, anybody, you should just be nice to everyone else. Because why would you want to ruin someone else's day, which will form a chain reaction like a butterfly effect? I treat you bad, you treat him bad, you treat her bad. It's just a chain reaction and it never stops. Why do we need to do that? I just don't see your logic. And this leads me to my next point, where no matter that person treats you well or not well, I realize that they are actually a blessing to you, some sort of blessing to a certain extent. Because when that person is nice to you, it's great. However, the biggest lessons come from when someone treats you badly. They don't respect you, they just spit on your face, they talk behind you, they stab your back, whatever that may be. It's also a blessing because we learn that they show their true colors. And in another perspective, it's also some behaviors that we should not learn from them. I know for some people, it's very difficult to have this kind of mindset. It's very difficult to think like this because the things that they do is just too hurtful and it's very hard to forgive. Like, come on, that's a reason for Christmas. And even if you're not a Christian, I think forgiving someone is just being good to yourself, that you don't have to always have something that holds you back in your heart. You can avoid a person, but don't hate it to a point where it affects you emotionally. And lastly, I learned that we shouldn't really just purely chase money, which is a lot of people what they're doing these days. For me, it's more of I'm trying to chase perfection or always trying to improve my product or service so that it brings more value to my clients, my customers. And that pretty much sums up all the learnings that I have for this year in this video. So if you're on this journey to make yourself better, to learn to be more productive, maybe you're interested in some of my other videos. And together, let's live with no regrets.